Okay, Assalamu alaikum class. Our today's topic is about the brief correspondence. What is it and how we can get a good brief correspondence by following some rules. We will discuss those rules in today's class as well. So let me open the slide. So first of all, we should have the idea that what is brief correspondence. So we will discuss in today's lecture what is brief correspondence and what are the essentials of brief correspondence and how we can create a goodwill and what are the 6 principles of effective communication as well. So as we are in this course, we are discussing the business writing and business communication. So brief correspondence is the same. First, we have this idea that what is correspondence. So correspondence is how we can, when we communicate and our act of communication, where we make some decisions, where we agree on some points with in our business world, with our business partners and with our employees or any in any business communication. So when we have the brief correspondence, because we have different documentation in business writing as well. When we discussed about the long report, that is a long report, and that is documentation when we have when we have to do a survey and when we have to make some decisions and we have some documentation, and so we follow the manuscript format. But there are some daily on the daily basis we have some communication or small conversations as well. So those small conversations are called brief correspondence. So those daily or in routine conversations can be in face to face, but there are other ways as well to communicate. Four different brief correspondence ways are text messages, email, memo, and letter. These are the ways of brief correspondence. So, what are the essentials of brief correspondence? What we need to correspond with our employees or within our business world. Two things which are very important: goodwill and principles of effective communication. So we will discuss one by one what is goodwill and what are those principles of effective communication. Goodwill, as the name suggests, that when we have a good or positive will to communicate, okay, when we want to have a mutual admiration or respect, when we want to have a positive relation and a friendly relation with our colleagues, with our employees, and with our business partners. So we want to maintain the goodwill in our business communication. Okay, every business communication seeks the goodwill with the readers or with the audience or with the receivers. So you have to maintain that respect element, that friendly environment with your business partners or with your colleagues. So second thing is how we can create goodwill. Okay, we want to have a friendly environment, we want to have a mutual respect element in our communication, but how? The question is how. So there are 6 rules. First rule, which you should follow not only in your professional setting, in your personal setting as well, that is treat your fellows and treat your partners the same way you want them to treat you. Okay, this is the rule which I think that you have to follow in your personal communication as well. So how can we miss this rule in our professional setting? So this is very important. So second one is your choice of words. Those are very important. How you in which tone you are speaking. As we discussed in our communicate when we were learning communication skills in our English 2, we discussed the negative message, how we can communicate the negative message by making it a constructive feedback. So that those things you have to opt in your professional setting, that whenever you have a hostile situation or you have a negative message to convey, don't use sloppy language or don't use harsh words, don't use the negative words. Try to convey the message as constructively as you can. Okay, use positive words, give suggestions, or try to be honest and polite. These are also the rules for maintaining the goodwill. So other thing is reply or correspond as quickly as you can. So these are the things which you can follow to maintain a goodwill with your within your business world. Second thing or second essential for brief correspondence is principles of effective communication. There are again six principles for making your communication effective, written communication effective. These are concise language. These are mostly related to the characteristics we discussed in the wrong report as well, that use the concise language. Always keep those seven C's which you learned in your communication skills and those characteristics of writing any report. Though these two things in your communication are very important. So, concise language, try to be brief in your write ups, in your communication, and don't over write anything and don't use any unnecessary element in your communication. Try to be too concise in your uh, language. Accuracy and completeness. When we talked about completeness, try to answer as much questions as you can. That your message should be complete. I do always tell you that follow the 5W and H rule, that those questions should be considered in your message. That if you are saying that I want to meet you, okay, so where, when, so those answers should be given in your message in order to have a quick response. So your message should be complete in order to have a prompt response, in order to have quick decisions in your business world. So accurate in your language as well as in your message as well. Professional appearance. Uh, when we said that when we talk about professional appearance, it doesn't mean that your professional appearance, you're only when the people see you, they can have your professional appearance, that what type of professional and what kind of professionalism you have. It doesn't look like that. Or your write up, your documentation sent to any other company, when they are reading it, they can have an image of your company and you yourself in their minds. So your write-up, your choice of words, your formats, all these things also convey the message to your reader. Okay, let's suppose when we if we talk about CV, if your CV is not clean, if your CV has lot of language mistakes, if your CV is not appropriate, has no appropriate format, what type of image you are giving to your prospective employers? They have the image that you don't know how to write a resume, you don't have a complete knowledge how to spell some words, you are not that much literate that you can write a proper sentence. So your image is that you are not a good employee for them. So these are the things, but whenever you are writing something, you are giving your image to your reader as well. Okay, so I'm going to share one example with you. Yesterday, I read a message. Superior University students have read that message, that they don't want online classes. In that one paragraph, they have three mistakes in that paragraph, and that paragraph was five of 5 lines, and they have three mistakes in that one paragraph, and they are representing the whole superior university. Okay, so they that message which is might be written by only one student, but they are representing the whole community of their students, superior university students. So at the very first time when I read that message, I have that thing in my mind that if such kind of students are demanding that they don't want online classes, so they are right, because they might be not reading in their traditional classes. How they can learn in their online classes? Because they don't know how to write a message. So I have that image of those students and that university community in my mind after reading that message. So it means that your write-up has a professional appearance in whenever the reader is reading your message. So first, fourth thing is conventional format. Follow the conventional format. Uh, I told you when we were talking about the formats that were in the business writing and business communication, why we always learn the formats. That okay, beta letter has this format, application has this format, CV has this format. So these formats, why these formats are important? Because all over the world, these formats are being followed. So when we talk about APA references, why we are learning that same format of references, which is a standard format and standard format for writing citations or references for your document. Because whenever and wherever your document is going, they are following the same format. If you have written the title after year, they have the idea that this is the title of any article or any journal. Same is the case with letter. If you are writing the letter, and we all know that we have the standard format that on top of your letter we have the sender's address. And if you are not following that format and you are not writing the sender's address. If you are not writing the sender's address, then how come they know that what is your address and where they have to address you back? Okay, and if you are writing the sender's address in the middle, how come they know that this is either you have written the sender's address or what something else? So these are the confusions that might come when you are not following the conventional formats. So whenever you are corresponding in brief correspondence or in other documentations, so please follow the conventional format, so in order to avoid the misunderstandings. Logical organization. Logical organization is, if I talk about, if you are writing any message through email, through memo, through letter, or through report. So if you are stating, let's suppose that very first thing in any documentation is to write the purpose. So if you are stating the purpose, that you are telling them that why you are writing, okay, but at the same time you after that you are supposed to write that what you demand and what you want from them from your readers, but you haven't written that. So how come they understand that why you are writing and what you want them to do? Okay, so that is the organization, that first you write what your purpose and then you state what you want, what type of action you demand from your reader. So they are supposing that whenever they are reading, so first of all there might be purpose written, and then yeah, your end of your document would be on what they have to do. So okay, if they have to find out from in between the lines that what you want them to do, they might get aggressive and they might not have much time to read it again and again and try to understand. That should be your message, and your action should be written explicitly in an organized manner so that they could understand easily. And standard English usage, same, that you are not allowed to use your text language in your professional setting. Use proper formats. Don't use even abbreviation. Don't use even any when you write. Don't like DONT. So those kind of apostrophes you are not allowed to use. Short forms you are not allowed to use. Use the proper words, proper formats, and proper formats. Avoid abbreviations. and avoid spelling mistakes, avoid punctuation mistakes, or use the standard English format in your brief correspondence. So these are the do's which you have to do, which I have just discussed. So what are the don'ts? If use concise language, avoid fuzzy, unnecessary words that take up readers' time with details they do not need. Okay, so but if they do not need some details, so don't write those unnecessary details in that. Accuracy and completeness, do that. And inaccurate, incomplete information which create misunderstandings and problems, avoid those. Professional appearance should be there. Sloppy appearance, making you and your organization appear incompetent and careless, it should be avoided. And conventional format and familiar formats should be avoided. Logical organization, illogical organization always frustrate readers because they have to make an effort to understand what you have written. And follow the standard English, avoid grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes, which is also showing the appearance or your professional appearance and your company's appearance to your business partners in your business world. So this is what I want to discuss about the brief correspondence. So whenever you are writing, I'm going to conclude it in simpler words. Like whenever you are writing, whichever document you are writing, you should follow these rules. You should have to maintain the goodwill, and you should have to follow these 6 principles to have an effective communication. Okay, so 6 principles uh, are very important, like concise language, और उसके अलावा other one is professional appearance is very important. Grammatical, avoid grammatical rules. So these things are very important. But whenever and whichever document you are writing, okay, so try to follow these rules and try to maintain a goodwill. Whenever you have to write any negative message, and whenever you have to convey the negative message, try to write it as constructively as you can. Try to give suggestions and try to be honest with your in your professional settings. Okay, or these are the things which I want to tell you and which I want you to follow these rules in your professional setting. So today's lecture, I'm going to end today's lecture here. So I want you to learn these things and I want you to practice these things in your email writing as well, as you have your quiz on Tuesday at 11 a.m. On email writing on Google Classroom. Thank you very much, class.